with an open mind, within 5 minutes, you can prove the Holocaust is a scam. Hitler was pretty nice to the Jews after what the Jews did to Hitler. When you look at the big picture and you find out who's pulling the strings, you realize, oh, okay, the Satanists snuck into the Jewish religion, and now they're calling themselves Jews when they're Zionists, they're Satanists. And then they got the other two religions, Christians and Muslims, to fight against one another.
John Rose is a person who is so dear to my heart. For those of you who don't know John, how do I even describe your magicalness?
À-bas-le-ciel.
Hitler was pretty nice to the Jews after what the Jews did to Hitler. And again, if Hitler would have won the war, this world would be a different world right now. He would have turned Germany into a vegetarian country. People would have seen around the world, look, see, this is what I'm trying to do now with you guys, where people are going to start thinking, or hating me, think, oh my God, he's anti-Semitic. You've been so brainwashed you don't even realize Jews aren't Semites. I mean, when you look more into this, you realize that it's all a distraction. And we don't need to be distracted here. Forget everything about Hitler. Who cares whether he's good or bad? He did something that woke us up, and that's all we need to take from Hitler. I'll concede he's evil. I don't care. It doesn't matter. What matters is what he proved to the world. Japan did the same thing. What did the world do? They attacked him.
Do I have your attention? I'm human. I'm real. I too have pent-up tension. I have thoughts, feelings, and passions to reveal. This is the man who introduced me to eating raw foods. He's one of the closest people to me, a mentor beyond all belief. So many people right now are just asleep. You can shake them, you can yell at them, you can ask them to drink a green juice, and they genuinely believe that it doesn't matter.
Well, the Jews came up with a game plan, and they said, look, if we can get America involved, will you give us Palestine? And we can get America involved because we own the press over there. We can change public opinion around in a flash. We can make up stories about how bad these are. And when you look at the evil atrocities that happened during that time, it was back in Russia. The gulags in Russia. That's where you see a lot of those pictures. And then when you see people that were starving to death in these work camps, the reason why they were starving to death is months before the war was ended, the Allied forces, the bad guys, bombed the hell out of the roads that brought supplies to those work camps. And I am an official version denier. That's right. I know governments lie. I know that the official version from most officials is a lie. If you deny this, if you're called this denier and that denier and this denier, vaccine denier, climate denier, Holocaust denier, you need to look into those subjects with an open mind. To understand what I'm saying, you got to watch, if you haven't already, 1,500 architects and engineers for 9/11 truth. It's frightening for a lot of people to realize this is really, in effect, a twilight zone that we live on in this planet, where psychopaths literally run the asylum. We are debt slaves. You got to play our money game. When you play our money game, for every $1 billion we print, we get 90 billion. We have an unfair economic advantage. We can own and control everything. Brainwash the hell out of you guys. Bombard you with so much information. You go to the movies and you're being reinforced to put more pages in those books, so that when you see someone telling the truth, you're going, deny, deny, deny. Look at my book. It's so freaking big.
Health is more than just about the food and your physical well-being, but it's also about your spiritual, emotional, and mental self-love as well. Being creative and writing helps me to process pain and grief, so I wrote a poem. What I'm about to share with you is also an important part of healthy expression.
Ask your doctor, ask your doctor. Every time we turn around, we're putting more pages in that medical corral. Don't you see? My God, how many times do they say that on TV? Ask your doctor, ask your doctor, ask your doctor. That's another page in that big friggin' book. Another page, another page, another page. They're the experts. No, they're not. They're intentionally misdirected by that sick group of people, the powers that be, who control the media. It's obvious. Governments lie. The official version can't be trusted. History books are bunk. Look what Henry Ford did. He spent $5 million of the money, sacrificed his life, sacrificed a lot of money. He lost a lot of business by spending that $5 million over a 7-year period of time. You know what he did? He bought a newspaper, refused to take any advertising. He lost money on it. Now, Henry Ford was a rich man. He was the richest guy back then, industrialist. He was a good man, kind-hearted man. He was a vegetarian. He doubled his workers' wages overnight. Paid the guy who got the least more money than his competitors paid the most. Gave him a pension plan. He donated $12 million the first year on behalf of those. And when he found out the powers that be and who they were, what did he do? He bought this newspaper, hired the best reporters you can find, the best private investigators, the best journalists, sent them all around the world to dig up the truth, put out weekly articles every so often, finally put all those into 2 books, 500 pages each, 2-volume book. You need to look at Henry Ford. He was a good man. He understood what we're talking about here. I'm not even going to tell you it, because it's going to push a hot button for some of you clowns out there. You've got books that are so full of shit, you don't realize it's making you a slave. Could reach the tipping point, and all of a sudden all of us bumped up our biophotons. All of us became better, the best that we can be.
The feeling that we're one
exciting.
with everything. That's the most perfect way to describe it.
It really is, and that's really what's important.
It's enlightenment. It's waking people up, right? Bringing them into consciousness. So many people right now are just asleep.
This is an exciting time to live. I'm telling you, we can wake up the masses and take back the money supply so we can take back our educational systems and all that kind of stuff. We got to take back the money supply. We got to do away with usury. The people who rule the world want everyone to be under usury, underneath their spell, their monetary system. If you think Hitler is evil, you'll never look at anything he did. That's why they did that. That's why they demonized him. There's a reason why we came over here and bombed the hell out of Germany, so that no one could see that they were prospering. We live on an abundant planet. Germany, Japan, Libya, they proved to the world we live on an abundant planet. What do? We go over there and attack them, destroy them. All wars are bankers' wars. That's what Henry Ford found out. It was these international bankers that are printing our money. That's what the wars were about last century. Gaddafi, same thing. Google Gaddafi, what he was doing for that country. People loved him over there. They were flourishing over there, proving to Africa, hey, we're in a desert, but we're going to make it flourish. Can't have that happen on this planet, because we got sick assholes out here that rule everything. I'm tired of this. When you bump up those biophotons, when you get your 6th sense, you realize there's only one way for me to make my life better, since I'm connected to everything, is to make everything around me better. If we all had that mentality, we would have what's called reciprocal altruism. Hitler was pretty nice to the Jews after what the Jews did to Hitler.
I am so excited that you guys joined us today for this conversation. If you've liked it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and head on over to John's YouTube channel, hit the subscribe, watch some of his videos and support him. He's truly just a gem on this planet. So much knowledge to share, so much love to share.
If it wasn't for Hitler, this would be a different world. We've got to open up our mind and realize what kind of injustice we're doing to this man. And it reminds me of what happened to me when I got into college. And I found out that I was lied to about the American Indians. That they weren't savages. They weren't scalping us. We were scalping them. The white man had bounties on the Native Americans, and they retaliated. And yet I grew up thinking that these were the bad people. I really feel bad that I felt that way about someone and they didn't deserve that type of condemnation. Well, you guys, most of us, every one of us basically is doing that to Hitler and the German people. These are lies, just like we lied about the Native Americans. With an open mind, within 5 minutes, you can prove the Holocaust is a scam. 5 minutes, with an open mind. And once you realize that's a scam, then everything else falls apart too. So let's not discuss whether it's totalitarianism or dictatorship. It's not the point. You're getting distracted. When you look at the big picture and you find out who's pulling the strings, you realize, oh, okay, the Satanists snuck into the Jewish religion, and now they're calling themselves Jews when they're Zionists, they're Satanists. And then they got the other two religions, Christians and Muslims, to fight against one another. Germany and Japan proved to the world that we live on an abundant planet, and our debt masters cannot allow that to happen, So they owned the media, they brainwashed everyone, they made sure the history books were written that told their story, that these guys were bad and they did all these bad things, and it's all hokum, it's all bullshit. Reinforcing this belief that these people are the epitome of evil. Anybody who uses Hitler and Nazis as the epitome for evil on a repeated basis like that is obviously a shill and is part of controlled opposition. Don't look at what Hitler did in Germany, in Japan. Don't look at what they did, because they proved to the world that we live on an abundant planet. Let's not discuss whether it's totalitarianism or dictatorship. It's not the point.
Guys, this can't go on. I don't mean that crackpot assholes like John Rose can't continue to make their insane and incoherent rants about anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Of course that's going to go on. That ain't new. Like blue jeans, it seems like it's never going to go out of fashion with some people. What can't continue is a situation where channels like Unnatural Vegan criticize Fully Raw Kristina for the minutiae of her dietary advice about how many blueberries you should put in your smoothie, or how many days it's safe to do water fasting to lose weight, or this other bullshit, ignoring enormous political problems of this kind that are staring us right in the face, like the fact that Fully Raw Kristina promotes on her own channel a neo-Nazi, pro-Hitler maniac. His views are frankly so incoherent that they're impossible to summarize. This ain't new, and on the other hand, it's not ancient history. Do you remember a charming fellow named Vegetable Police? I'm in Chiang Mai, he's in Chiang Mai. I asked him if he wanted to meet up with me. For some reason, he wasn't willing to do so. Vegetable Police is a guy who has comments below so many of John Rose's videos saying that he agrees with him about Adolf Hitler. Do you remember what Unnatural Vegan said in addressing the profound intellectual ruminations of Vegetable Police? She said, she still stood by him, she still said that he wasn't anti-Semitic. He merely held some beliefs that are also held by anti-Semitic people. It was the most laughable, stupid, ridiculous thing. I put out videos that I know hit him hard and hurt him. I got to see his reaction. I put out videos that really just pointed through that, yes, you are guilty of Holocaust denial. And Unnatural Vegan still wanted to play this little game sitting on the fence. Right? Guys, I shouldn't be alone here. I shouldn't be the only person going through the financial reports from PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, wanting to do videos talking about, where their money comes from, where it goes. I shouldn't be the only person finding problems in the political philosophy of direct action everywhere. I shouldn't be the only person answering these questions, giving these answers. I should have a round table of other vegans seriously concerned and engaged for the future of the movement. And I've been doing this for 3 years now? And I'm all alone here, even on something as obvious as pointing the finger at pro-Hitler neo-Nazi vegans. I don't know any other channel who did it, because I don't know any other channel that wanted to take the heat. Still to this day, who else stood up on Corey McCarthy, Tara McCarthy, Vegetable Police, and the other guy, the guy with the Italian name. I've forgotten his name now. Sorry, there was one more. He went full Hitler neo-Nazi, that guy. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm forgetting his name now. If you'll remember, that was a couple years ago. He went from one extreme to the other. Guys, there's a really important role for critique in this movement. There's a really necessary role for criticism. Obviously, most of the reactions I got, Corey McCarthy presented himself as just a health guru. A lot of people think John Rose and Fully Raw Kristina are just beauty icons, I guess, health gurus, whatever. They're not. Fascism is real, people. And it's not a slippery slope. It's a straight up fucking canyon, okay? Once you go over that ledge, and that's what they're talking about. They were bringing people in, getting them to that tipping point. Look, I could spend an hour talking about it. John Rose presents what for him is a coherent philosophy. It reminds me of some Buddhist philosophers in that sense. He feels that changing the the food in your diet, becoming a raw foodist, changing your mentality and your attitude towards medical authority and scientific authority, and then, Also, political and historical authorities. These things are all connected. And what is his crazy theory he got from this novelist, Ishmael, by who? Who is this by? Daniel Quinn's Ishmael. It's all connected. That's why all of his videos are really repetitive and kind of start nowhere and go nowhere and just put together the same pieces of the puzzle, reshuffling in different ways. But Adolf Hitler is in the middle of all of these stratagems, and it's his world perspective. And guys, I think Fully Raw Kristina is an idiot, but I think she's on board with this. You don't have to read between the lines. Fully Raw Kristina is not a victim of this ideology. She's a proponent of it. Okay? You guys can do the Googles if you want to. Fully Raw Kristina's grandfather was a Nazi, not a neo-Nazi, but a Nazi. Fully Raw Kristina, if you listen to what she's saying here about, changing the world's mentality and so on, it's been written in even more florid hippie language. But when Fully Raw Kristina is telling you that this guy is a wonderful person and you should go and subscribe to his channel, she knows what she's saying. She knows what political views she's endorsing. She knows more than I do. She's watched more of his videos than I have over years and years. She knows exactly what channel she's telling you to go give the thumbs up to. She knows exactly what political position she's telling you to go endorse. Just as this guy, when he so vaguely describes the political position of Henry Ford of the Ford Motor. He so vaguely and flatteringly describes that newspaper and that book that's in 2 volumes. It's actually in 4 volumes. He doesn't give you the title. He knows exactly what he's directing you towards. And when he puts down his crazy crackpot theories, both of these people, they quote sources that believe that the HIV/AIDS virus does not exist, sources that don't believe any viruses or bacteria exist, that the whole existence of AIDS was a government conspiracy. This is the level of denial of reality these people are at. But the other side, as he complains, the other side is a big book full of references. And what have they got? They got their half-naked bodies on camera. They're fighting heroically against the people with the big books and the citations and the references. Guess which side I'm on? Guess which side I'm on, oh boy. I'm going to be with the ugly people with the big book. I mean, but this is the problem with the internet. The idiots are winning. Fully Raw Kristina and this piece of shit, they can at least collab to do a fucking video. When was the last time I had a collab on my channel? I tried. I've been reaching out to people for years, trying to get 5 politically savvy vegans in a room to cooperate. I tried to organize an event here in Thailand, a festival. We were going to have a whole bunch of vegan YouTubers and aspiring activists, some of whom are not on YouTube, get together. We looked at doing an event in New York City or Washington, D.C. too. I was trying to organize my little collabs. Dude, I got to tell you, I mean, getting politically savvy, ecologically engaged intellectuals to cooperate, it's like herding cats. And these people, oh boy, do not argue with an idiot. They'll drag you down to their level and then beat you on experience. But we also can't compete with the idiots, because they're going to beat us on both charisma and on sheer numbers, okay? And nobody else is standing up for them. Who else stood up against Corey McCarthy? Who else stood up against Durian Rider? I did that. I mean, sorry, that's a whole other chapter of my life you guys know too much about. But I've been doing a lot of the standing up. And guys, I'm done, okay? This is the mic drop video for me. I need other people to step up and take on this work. My life cannot be a long series of videos excoriating fucking neo-Nazis and crackpots. I've got to go back. I'm going back to Canada. I'm going to be criticizing the Prime Minister of Canada for a change. I'm going to be criticizing real politics. I'm going to be doing real party politics. I'm coming back from the edge of the known world here, from Dahong on the Yunnan-Myanmar border. Okay? Guys, you have to take up the mantle. This is your movement, if it's ever going to be a movement. I just made a video saying veganism today is a message without a movement. Guys, we need a movement, okay? And a movement without critique is going to be stumbling blind. And if you stumble a little bit too far off the fascist side of the path, like I say, it ain't a slippery slope. It's a canyon.
À-bas-le-ciel.